great account in the certified by the IC and all of them something there. Why are them something them a focus on? Look how much work the man are doing. Look how much homes. This is come like every single year you go on TikTok. You see the Prime Minister and you know see it's pretty. Every single day, man. Every single day you see the Prime Minister he might cut one ribbon for a new he might dig up a new place for a new project at work. Bro, in a real life, and we can talk facts right now. Whether JLP or PNP, no other Prime Minister in the history of Jamaica has ever done so much for Jamaica. Not even Stiaga, none of them other Prime Ministers has never done so much for Jamaica than Andrew Wallace did. And then mine, Andrew Wallace have whole heap of thing where slow him down, you know. They have COVID where slow him down. You have hurricane like burying with damage the infrastructure. Remember, so we have one of the best finance ministers right away. When the big bank name, the IMF bank take Niger Clark with you from it. Yeah. So we're on the right path. And what at the 9th budget this, but we have no new tax. Okay, boy, you talk about that to you, man. Because your administration tax down to the part where the woman in here, you know, we have to let the man let go put on a while ago, you know. Where they use all of them money they do. Right now, the debt to GDP rate are the lowest. We have more spending power. $1 billion big government has spent for national security.
I can't shoot. Tap up the screen.
You don't know about the Jamaica High. The new center them with the Prime Minister all over Jamaica. We have all AI police right now. If you do a crime in Jamaica and then go to over and put you in a system, the camera them in Jamaica track you without a human intervention. They look and rare and give them alert and stuff. Bro, if you just calm down and stop listening to PNP and come up on the platform and spread the propaganda every day. The tired hear the propaganda and the lie. As discussion said, we ask the other Christians and none of them answer truthfully. You see me? When your turn again, why you come and why you talk some facts about Jamaica. You know why you talk about the Prime Minister this and the Prime Minister that. Talk some facts about Jamaica, man. Talk some facts about Martin. That. I will leave a PNP right now, they are the last week because of the same lies we are telling you. Isn't it? Everything on the contact are things with the PNP manufacture and can tell people, you know. Isn't it? You don't have no facts to around that time. And they're going to land this in our city.
All right. Respect. Okay, step up again. You have 4 minutes. Give some policies, okay. Give Alice them some policies.
Look here.
Coming at the box, you know, undecided.
Look here. This administration is
4 minutes, brother. You give your keys again.
That circle, hold on, I might have come around back, you know, we start from solid, it go right down.
But me get my 4 minutes in.
This minute, brother, wait for your turn, sir.
You soon get your turn, man. It come right down to you, man. Well,
ready now?
Yeah.
This administration is the worst Jamaica ever seen. The Andrew Holness-led administration is the worst Jamaica ever seen. When they're talking about the best, what Andrew Holness have done to Jamaica? The poverty rate is, we are living below the poverty level. People's salary is not up there. As a teacher, what teacher 30 years in Jamaica, I have to take for myself because we need a better future and my kids them. You understand? Both me and my wife have to take away ourselves because of poor management of the country under Andrew Holness. They are raping the country and nobody but my Andrew Holness. And Andrew Holness can sue me. Is what the IC said. The IC said that Andrew Holness has 28 bank accounts that cannot give account for to say where you get these money from. That's what the IC said.
I'll explain to you what it is.
Right? That's what the IC said. And that's the IC referred to the FID for investigation. Because they cannot arrest him. So they have to refer it to the FID. for investigation, right? So it doesn't matter what tell me about Andrew is to take people out of Chichi house, board house and put, yes, everybody have to come up with good ideas and such. Nothing is wrong with the social program or such. Nothing is wrong with it. Build good house, give people, congratulate him. Yes, but that can make up before corruption. How can you put your friend, because I don't have any problem with Dennis Chung as the FID, the person responsible, but if your friend, nepotism and cronyism, corruption there again. Why you want to move Pamela Monroe from the high seat? Huh? Corruption there again. The country with the drill, the dearest drill is for $4 million Jamaican dollars and $31 million corruption again.
Policies, no man, all them thing in your room where you talk about talk policies.
No, right? Corruption again. So I'm telling you, yes, because
talk policies.
Yeah, no proof is what. No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what is going on and the corruption in the country. Is going on. What you mean we don't have any proof in the photo when we do the investigation? You think Dr. Dawes is idiot?
We have 320 people. Them want your policies one
no, man, you can't. If you allow me to talk, no policy now. We don't want here, no.
All right, tell me
the
two of them.
PNP is coming. When the PNP comes in power, when the PNP comes in power, we're not ready for that yet. We're not ready for that. We talk about the corruption of Andrew Holness. Corruption. You have 28 bank accounts and you cannot where the money coming from. And you want to tell people grudge. Where people come from grudge. And the high sea corruption and Jamaica people fed up because they continue to rape the country. Look at what happened at Petrodrum. How much $1 billion cannot give account? The man from St. Mary would use car. How much millions of Jamaican taxpayers want her term? Look here, Andrew Wallace. How way with yourself? You think Jamaican people for fool? When you take her to the middle class, when you do a survey and check the middle class, no middle class supporting Andrew Wallace. And every grassroots people and the young people are supporting Mark Golding. Mark Golding is Jamaica's next Prime Minister. Boy, clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true?
You're a madman. Andrew,
yes, man, make me mad.
Andrew, how mad him?
Look here.
Mute to the mic, people can't.
You know, sir, that's the legal program most time I not skip it because the people they have no behavior and they have no manners. I allow them to talk. Precisely, I allow them to talk. I don't dip in people's argument. Allow me to learn. Because Andrew always cannot win a next election in Jamaica. Jamaica people are no idiots. Mark Jefferson Golding is the new Prime Minister for a short while. You understand?
Madman. You're a madman in the clean clothes. You're mad. You're mad before you're mad. He's a madman in a clean clothes.
You can't take a laugh and joke, brother.
Hey, Squitty. Squitty. Batman, boy. Hey, Squitty. Why you know like Andrew ended a run for the JLP president with that to a Minister of Education? And to Andrew support him. And that's why I'm Batman Andrew. A Batman boy, man. You know, you say Batman Andrew.
Alright, well, I'm going to from Basic. Well, I'm the Chris. Basic, step up.
Okay, come with a night time, and that him get paid for come do.
Propaganda.
Yeah. He does get paid for do it, and that's the truth.
Well, you know, it's time we laugh for keep God, you know, man.
It's really not the man get paid.
Squitty, you have to go and pick up your live and tell and propaganda.
If you make him,
Basic.
Machine,
remember say and a PNP comment you run because he was buried in chicken. And chicken. He is a chicken of a Kansas and they just buried chicken on PM. Batman boy man.
I'm personal, Iman Barry was brethren, you know?
Yeah.
So like the man there, back I don't start laughing, man.
What we are saying?
Does he laugh at time and he never run him. And we start laughing at your life.
Pretty deserve laugh after.
Well, I know, man. Okay, so we have a vote.
No, sir.
Okay, so
I
we have
can't
a vote, you
manage.
know.
Yo,
Hong,
yeah,
well I know. Well I know. Okay, if God sit in legal school and go learn agriculture. Me not underrate nobody. How can an agriculture minister be a finance minister? That's a school for finance man. Okay, agriculture is not anyone to finance. Man, poor man.
But well, I don't know, script. I say this to them, I'm going to say it again. Don't to PMP go vote for Andrew Jones.
I will tell you so. I will tell you that. Yes, let's not cross it already.
PNP, I go vote for Andrew because that's what the PNP is so aggressive. Like, okay, Dave, them afraid to even tell them the truth.
Basic. I'm going to say something. Me did a plan to debunk him because me ever come and talk say, Andrew Owen is corrupt. Well, I know, it's Andrew Owen is corrupt. How much money I take? Remember say PJ corrupt one Andrew because PJ ball by one ball for $9 million US and nobody can see ball all now 98. Taxpayer money by one ball for $9 million.
Somebody say Lawrence you're gone over PMP.
Yep, I'm gone over. Come over.
They gone over JLP?
Yeah.
You must.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Squitty, I'm me I tell you something, you know.
What are the basic?
Yeah, basic my basic turn, you know, man. Do not take up basic time.
Okay.
Hey, but as what we say now, what Oki come on the program to do at night time, that thing get paid for.
Yeah, man. Tell me about Lawrence Rowe where you say you know about.
Alright, Lawrence Rowe, come up, me say you know. Lawrence Rowe, you tell us that drop a bomb, you know.
Yeah.
The man come over party, man. Them introduce him already, you know.
You see me not
The
green
man drop,
shirt?
you know. Eh?
You see me not green shirt?
Tomorrow, yep, that one of the man, like green and black shirt.
Somebody say he went to a meeting in jail.
When I'm meeting now, yeah, man. He might come over for you, man. But what is going to happen?
Margie, you saying got a meeting last night. Not JP shirt.
And JP shirt, green and black shirt, you wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me say this to you, Squitty.
So then you have about Central King's song then.
Central Kids have never gone to nowhere.
Yeah.
And them I try use money, you know. Use a strength to fund it, you know. Alright, if you're going to Central Kings on a South right now.
Yeah.
I think about two picture of McGregor put up, you know.
Yeah. Dr. Sam say Governor General call out the IC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tomorrow you're
Yep.
about it. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want this song.
Yeah, man. Tomorrow you're about that.
Carrying my role.
Corruption, brother.
Pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I say something before basic go back to you for a minute. And the one is a writer PNP part like a Hurricane Gilbert writer Jamaica 88.
Alright, Chris.
All right.
What the first thing I
Yeah.
hear O'Keefe said since night? 28 bank book, not no
Mark Golding have 4 more bank book on that.
Well, on the Chris, man. Well, on the Chris, soon come to you now.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hear you. O'Keefe said 28 bank book, him not say nothing wrong with. All of a sudden, you know, the goose, what good for the goose, also
Good for the gander.
all of a sudden it just switch, so you know.
Yeah.
So two no Mark Golding lie to them. Same only probably have 2 and probably 3, but in not use 1. But in sure about 2 him have going to use right now. All of a sudden, I talk to 2. And the PNP now say, watch you now. Mark Golding 32 accounts. Nothing wrong. And can show how it come by. But the 28th, down to Mark Golding, that's the 28th bank booking. Now all of a sudden, nothing wrong with it again. So nobody don't have to talk about it again. So don't tell them when you talk about Mark Golding 32. So them say they're willing to drop the Andrew blind now with him 28. I want him have 100.
Well on there. So there's a 3 PMP gone to the JLP in Hanover last night.
Last night, the farmer, the ex-farmer, I think I was. Yeah, man, 3 of them gone with Craig Oates, man.
Yes, a 3 of them crossover.
They gone with Craig Oates, so I'm over the party.
All right, hold on this a basic. Hold on this a little bit. Willow. 4 minutes, Willow.
Me not think me a take so long. Me just come for debunk the brother the way did that. Me feel so when I give Anthony and this no enough credit for the reduction in a murder, you know. Cause everybody talk about Kevin Blake. Big up Kevin Blake, we respect that, but Anthony and this playing part too, brother. Anthony and this play this part.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And me okay say February this year the reduction start at 3 years now.
At 3 years
It's our third year. 2023, 9%. Last year, what, 19%? Yeah. And this year, you reach a 44, which hopefully you reach by 60 by year if you done that month. But we need to give Anthony and this credit. The man started the groundwork, brother. Kevin Blake was integral in it because, as I say, I'm a IC man, so we give him credit. But Anthony and this play a major part. The government supply them with the resources and they implement the strategy. Because government not deal with strategy, government deal with policies, brother. So, that's my piece still. Me not take 4 minutes. Me did just come for the bunker key. 5 minutes you want to talk to when you run gun. So, big up yourself.
Come man, him think I AK shot him run.
And we start laugh at him.
AK turn off on him, man.
Yeah, man. Me just say, remember Anthony and this now this state. We not just.
Well, I know. You have to live up your hearts to Dr. Chang too.
You know, you say me give government their credit, brother. Me not discredit it. Then the government not deal with technical work. They deal with policies, and the man them implement the policies. So we give government their credit definitely. But me I say no forget Major Anthony and this still that me I say. Cause okay if I say a Kevin Blake as if a Kevin Blake is alone and Andrew and Dr. Chang not playing a part, but Kevin Blake, Andrew and the government and Kevin Blake are continuing his career. Him collect it back now. So that's my piece. Big up on yourself.
Alright. You jump out?
Yeah man, me a jump up, man. I can't put somebody else in there.
Alright, bless up.
Every time.
Yeah, man.
Yes, Kitty.
Yes,
Me just come from a meeting look well. But meet me brand new MP aspirant.
Which part?
Northeast Manchester, where I represent Ardisha, RG Marks.
Oh,
yeah, man, I'm actually going to take a photo together.
Yeah.
So, from Ardley to Ardry, from Manayard to Manayard, I say things said.
Yeah.
So, right now, the PNP.
Hold on, boss. Yeah.
The PNP again lose our seat in the election and Bellevue now miss enough of them. I hope nobody stack up. I hope nobody stack up on Pampas. Because me here, one down a South Chilani say, he will give them sanitary napkin down there, but keep it for yourself. Because, come Browning, mute the mic.
Browning, mute the mic.
I want him to know. This election is going to be a landslide victory.
Yeah.
Because you say, Andrew, the maximum seat Andrew will win that election at 55. We now pass that. 8 seat PNP I get. See like a how they do in the 90s with Edel Siaga. The table turn right now and we are doing them so. Because when me hear okay if I talk about corruption, nobody corrupt like PNP government. Man used to take a banana chunk, check them, and go collect money in a parish council. Okay, if no know them there. Man used to take taxi, just drive for a taxi when we know. Go parish council, go collect money for Fred David in the Brown envelope. The Prime Minister cut out that, go work for you want. Why they not like Andrew? Andrew make the play field level. No care how the cake thick. And you cut it. When they catch you, even the crumbs they get. That's why I love my Prime Minister. You level up the field. And they don't love that. So they used to talk about 128 bank account and they had talk about Mark Gold in 32. 4 more account more than Andrew were fully loaded. You know what people suffer in the 4 bank book there? What people analyze themselves and walk mad when they don't have 2 finsack. When I say Mark Gold, don't be the house in Jamaica now in a finsack house, you live in a rap people. And that is not good enough.
Hold on there. Black Hawk, what you say to Mark Gold in a St. Elizabeth today?
Ain't gonna make mistake and talk about Jessica. Jessica just come from incident of St. Louis to St. Mary. Yes, man, Jessica just is a come from St. Mary. One of them newly installed for security or something like that. Here at time done. Here mark at time done. Me all over the place. In Jinkrum till into idiot. This is my golden idiot.
Garden Town.
Yes, my golden idiot.
You say something about Garden Town too. You must mother got Garden Town.
God knows him to say, no.
Eh?
God knows him to say.
Yeah, and it's a Garden Town.
I think him drink before him go preach, you know.
Eh?
I think him drink before him preach. You know, give him a vibes. You know, give him that. You know, someone have a smoke out that speak.
Much claims.
Yeah.
Much claims. From I'm seeing at the box at text. Since that I have receipt, they cannot come in at the box. Like I have some receipt, then come in the box now.
PNP become all right. PNP, Chris. PNP become a church. When them go up, them keep them climb start a church. Them start play some song and them play some this and them dance and it for hype up to bring the emotions that to play upon the people them. You know, them create a dance in there, the church, the vibes there. And that them not come with no policy.
The same call Peter Phillips Prime Minister since.
You all know. Ian. Peter Phillips could never be Prime Minister of Jamaica because Peter Phillips is the uncle minister for the PNP side to get every portfolio and feel it.
Yeah, but out of Peter Phillips and Mark Gordon, which one more popular?
Peter Phillips.
And what Andrew to Peter Phillips?
What have in Clarkson and face? Then John talk to me now.
Out of Peter Phillips and Portia, which one is more popular?
Portia.
And what Andrew to Portia?
Tell him go put him in a pampas. To be a state.
No, you do the homework.
Alright. We'll let this one out, Chris. Noella. Hold on, Chris. Little Mike. Noella.
Squiddy, keep it up. Vegas, my 4 minutes. May I do something soon come back.
Alright. Xavier, now step up.
Mute.
You want me to take your time box, Noella?
No. No, Squiddy, may I do something soon come back.
Oh. Alright, Squiddy.
Heal up.
Yeah, bless up.
Happy Father's Day to all of the real fathers.
Yeah, man. Happy Father's Day. How much you have, Mr. Vegas?
7 of them, you know. I'm well proud.
Oh, yeah, man.
None of them.
Big up, Jenna.
None
of them.
They say, all them cut for fit.
Now, Mr. Carter, a man stand up to that name. That's the right.
Leave it alone and leave him alone.
Big up.
Carter, I'm a virgin, man. We know Carter from the
Yo, you know, so me the boy. Me the boy. Caution, what do you know?
Well, I know Mr. Vegas. I told 2% see you make you run.
Yeah, man, I mean, see.
Okay.
I'm afraid of me, man. I'm afraid of me like a post. Yeah. I'm afraid of me and Migs.
Jamaica politics are all with me thing hard, you know, everywhere we see it there.
Yeah, man, that's why I go, man.
Yeah, let me not say that.
That's why I go, man. That's why I go. The greater good is for not make the mistake and put Mark Gordon in the government. And that's the greatest. Because you are going now. The man just I tell you a while ago say. But before me tell yourself, me hear a boy one day, look Gabriel boyfriend. I say Andrew Wellness a jacket. Me see Andrew Wellness post a picture with him father today. The man and father dead stamp, brother.
Man, two man them knows big the same man.
Brother, the people them say the man them I say, yo, come never really pre him father. I miss the man put a picture up today. The man and him father have the same nose to blow. Me I say, yo,
Mr. Vegas.
yeah,
None out that the two of them is Shelly Rice, you know. Because how they know speaking blue that place.
Yeah, man, them knows big this. Everybody's a prime minister, but what the father knows. Trust me.
That's why I know. That's why I know. I know jacket.
nah, man, big nose. Remember
people
say,
treat that man. Big nose and big lip.
listen. Remember say big lip. People used to laugh off a big lip, and you see people go around and put all things on them lip, brother.
Yes, I get that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So that's it.
Black people think that, man.
But anyway, what may I say? The man on the platform, and the man I say, at 30 years in teach at Jamaica for.
Yeah, let me
Liar.
Yeah, the man say a while ago, you know. That's why I come to my box, you know. Come do one whole up here, you know. No, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Him say him teach 30 years at Jamaica. And him run left it because of Andrew Wellness. How long now Andrew Wellness in the government?
Not 30 years.
So what I'm gonna try to tell you now, say, you know, the man, let's say when Andrew Wellness come to the government, him run on. Come here and ask him when him run left Jamaica.
So next 21 years, I never teaching him to do. You know, the collective.
So the 21 years what you do before Andrew Wellness come to the government.
What you do with them years?
What you do with them years in your life? Where you set up PNP, where's PNP? They don't treat you so good. You don't get good pay, you don't get good living condition, you don't get good homes, you don't get good care, all of them things there for 21 years. Right? Andrew Wellness come now. They know that you think they should have set already when you have run left Jamaica when Andrew Wellness come.
Mr. Vegas, as Andrew give him the weight fees money run. You want to tell the boy bad mind?
When Andrew Wellness come to the government, your thing should have did already set when you have to run left Jamaica, you know. If you have to run left Jamaica when Andrew Wellness forward, if you're going to say a suit, and it can't be the first year Andrew Wellness come make your runway, because that would be premature. You'd have basically make a preemptive move. You'd say, boy, you think so it not go do that. So you can't get the first year after Andrew. So at least 8 years Andrew Wellness then since you run. So where that do them first 22 years of your life, and that's the argument I want to put to all these people. When we see also old man, we see on the internet, we're not even having teeth in their mouth. If PNP was so good to them, why is it that we mash up now and nothing going on for their life? It come like, you know them so, it come like some musician where they bust back in the days, and now I see them broke. I see them all are dead and people have to choke money to bury them and all they sitting there. And it baffles me because when in a time when them used to be prominent, around the place. The land and everything and things used to cheaper. So why them not buy up some more land? Because when me come in a music, when me come in a music and me start earn, the first thing me start look for some land and they sitting there in the virgins. And me start look, me can, if music should have stopped going for me. I never know so me go last so long in the music. And one hit song me did one, if you just take care of my mother, One hit song, How me find heads eye in the bridge, and me find heads eye, so me buy an apartment, and write my name across the floor, and I say, me, sleep on nobody floor again, And then me start fix up my mother house in the virgin.
Yeah.
And then when the longer me go in the music, the more me realize that me could have saved and buy properties and all, and then sit in the virgin. So when a man say, PNP was so good in the days when them under PNP, how comes them not buy up some land? How comes them not put some things in place?
Come up for the apartment enough time in Vegas.
Zine fam?
You know driver?
Ring a bell.
Same apartment to
Driver or rider?
the driver, man, I have a black BMW parked downstairs there.
Zine? So when a man did that with them life, Squitty?
Yeah.
When them did that with them life all of these years? Because you think supposed to, like, there is no way me could have tell a man, say, boy, music wicked to me. And this and that, and watch artists I get $1 million show now and very I may go complain no, brother, because because when me busting a music, the money where me that make could have buy things.
Mr. Vegas, they think everything I go be the same. So they not save nothing.
No, but them couldn't blame that for Andrew Holness then. Why them so bitter against Andrew Holness if them claim say things is so good in a PNP? How comes they don't make nothing of them life? Why you have to run left Jamaica when Andrew Holness come in a government if you did under PNP for so many years and do 30 years in a teaching? And that me want to ask him, you know. He said, but that's the problem, Jenko people. Let me tell you what the problem. A woman actually posted on her page, you know. Andrew Holness did for turn workless brethren. Andrew Holness did for not have nothing in her life and them not have no notice. Them can't argue upon nothing we are going on in the country. Them can't argue upon it. Them can't tell us nothing going on in the country. So here them have to do. Them have to find. Them have to jump on it the way Mark Golding strategize to run the campaign. Just attack Andrew Holness and hope say that will work, brethren. And if the Jamaican people them fool enough to run with that brethren and go vote for Mark Golding, well, we are going to have to see enough. Just like how the people them when they run go vote for Trump. I know the whole of them are marching on the street about Trump must go. Then Trump never don't tell the people never warning about Trump. People warning about Donald Trump, you know. I want to go vote for him and now a ball. The same thing I got if they put Mark Golding in a garden house, virgin. In a garden town.
But that not Vegas.
Garden town.
That naga. That naga.
A garden town.
A garden town, yeah.
Yeah. Same thing I got if they put a garden town.
Yeah, man.
Well, on the
Is it?
Vegas.
A garden town.
Well, on
Yeah,
the
man.
Vegas.
Yeah.
You have nothing clear about the GG say about the IT.
I want to think the GG say, man. One of the main point with the GG.
I never hear it. They are aware.
Yeah, the problem I have with Andrew Holness administration. You see, people around Andrew Holness. We need to hear more voices. We have 49 JLP, MP in our government, member of parliament, or whatever them they are. See? We're in 49 seats. That means that we have 49 people who are supposed to have some strong voices. And so my time, some things happen, I not see some people, I not even know some of them on them. There is no organized effort to expose some of the things that are going on. You understand what I say? Because the Governor General point out something, I think say, the brother named Lawrence, I think say them put him in the Integrity Commission and laugh. I think say, but based on the unclear nature of the Integrity Commission Act, right? That's why it must be repealed, yeah, amended. The man who them put him in as an acting director of corruption prosecution. But the Governor General say, yo, oh the man you get the position there. And I just must say last week him take an oath with for serve. So how did they put this man here as a director? Because when them do, I think they exploited the act. Because Mr. Mark Golding write the act, or him claims him orchestrated it, right? I am the architect behind it. So what happened is this man when them put in at the Integrity Commission now, they put him as an acting director. And at the Integrity Act now, it have nothing to say acting director. How they must select the acting director. So somebody over there now, whether they come the chairman at the time, Greg Christie. It seems like a Greg Christie put him in. Yeah? Seems like a Greg Christie put him in. And him they operate now in the capacity of the director in the act. As an acting director necessarily, because there is no director there. So him basically is the director. So they're going to try to argue now, say he was just acting. But if it was just the acting director, or film tenure as an acting director ended so quickly. You understand what I say? And if he was just an acting director, why was the position still not advertised that they want to find a director?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Or did they already made up their minds that, okay, I am going to be the director, we're just going to use him, use the lack of information in the Integrity Act for bringing me in. So when him now go, you know, it was like when the Governor General basically asked, why was it so secretly done? And that him ask. Him ask why the procurement nature of it was so secretly done, such an important position where you're in charge of investigating members of the government and government entities. Why was this position so secretly, you know?
So
Why was this just...
What am I telling them to do now with that?
Well, them send recommendation for them review it, but it seems as if either to get to Parliament later and then get to review it. So I don't know if they might go call back the same people them for review it, see, because it's really, really important for them to review it. Oh. So it might show some way how it can basically the Integrity Commission can be compromised based on some of the provisions, you know, are written in the Integrity Act. So he must show say, yo, them thing here. And the Governor General come forward, they want to point out them things there. You know, say it's something very, very important and I think
why it take him so long to come out to say them things? Where me there? Me there on a trip, he never there.
No, but remember say, you know, politics in general. Remember say politics, you know, because remember say the PNP them now are going to label him as JLP now, you know. You soon see them run out of that, in my labor right, you know. So you understand, it's a certain sensitive subject and certain sensitive argument, because the Governor General is a neutral body, or more like neutral, it's supposed to hold a neutral position. Because remember, say, him represent the Queen in the country, you know.
Yeah, represent the King.
So he have to meet with theme people them, right? He have to meet with the theme people them were linked to the British state. And them have to basically go over the recommendations. Him can't just take up on it and say, yo, boom, 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 bam, 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 ray. So now that it has gotten to the point where they are actually reviewing the Integrity Commission Act, well, he's sending his recommendations. But these recommendations that he sent over, those were things that we have been talking about for the longest time. We have been speaking about them for the longest time. So him just basically right now show the Integrity Commission and say, yo, you know, there's a lot of question because look what him said. He must say, look like Lena says, in?
Yeah.
Somebody microphone up.
Go to Mark Nation. Yeah.
Look what him say. The Gleaner says, in? The Gleaner says, in a rare move, Governor General Sir Patrick Allen has submitted formal recommendations to a joint selected committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act. Proposing, look, listen to the man proposing now, legislative changes aimed at enhancing the efficiency, right? Transparency. That means that the man say, yo, I work on a Dalios thing, I work on a secret thing I go around here, so. No, man, the people, we need some more transparency.
Yeah.
See? And independence. So him also have a problem with like the Auditor General was actually a commissioner over there. Because you can't be a commissioner at the Integrity Commission when you're supposed to audit all government bodies. You are sitting on a government body where you can't audit the body. Is it? That's why Peter Phillips did have a problem with it. I know Mark Golding have come and say, him not have no problem with it. But when Peter Phillips said him have a problem with it, Mark Golding never said no. You see, the same Gleaner, no way I said them have a problem with it. They also had a problem with it when the Auditor General was sitting as a commissioner. So all of them just expose themselves. So when the Governor General basically say, yo, efficiency, that means say, yo, when you don't have how much cases in front of one only a review or a certify a handful of cases, that cannot happen when so much money is spent on the body. Over $2 billion or about $2 billion taxpayers' money, plus other funding we want to get from outsiders. And what over there do? What over there do? That the Governor General really say, you know, we're transparency there. We're not really efficient. Because it's like, say, everybody up here say, yo, what's happening? What's going on here? What we not do? Zin? So Governor General say, yo, we don't need the Integrity Commission supposed to have its own independence and everything that too. Means say you can't be tied up with no PNP party. Is it? But what they need to go further and take a step further is they need to remove the part where they have certain privilege where you can sue the Integrity Commission. That they need to remove.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Blessings. Mr. Vega.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
take a mic like a chap.
Make him go through, because I'm going to jump off. I'm hear Travis say.
Always
Come
a
here, Vegas.
always a
Come here,
strong.
Vegas, one thing. Vegas, you have to one to jump off. In the Interior Commission, what they must say, if the Interior Commissioner want documents on the bank, they're supposed to go to a court to get it. But what they must say in the Interior Commission, they never do that. So they want to know them them bound. Something like that.
No, we already they done saying said Kevin Stevenson was on a witch hunt and was going rogue. We'd already done so that everything now we've been saying I come to light, You see me I say? Mass claims, with the box them there, if you want a box, just ask your box and come make your argument, man. But I still they chat like a little girl, show tantrum.
Alright,
Wait.
hold on, Mr. Vegas. Somebody pre him. We want because listen, Mr. Vegas, the reason why I'm really a giant, because at the level of conversation. Me always try to join conversation too, because we have meaningful and sensible conversations. And you said
Likewise, music.
You said a few things that I'd like to simplify or put the numbers to people. You mentioned that the Governor General questioned their efficiency. Let me put the numbers why that had to happen. The Integrity Commission law requires thousands of public servants, approximately 30,000 public servants to submit
Statutory
declarations. Now, for 8 years, they have been in existence. And I want somebody to go on the calculator and tell me 30,000 times 8 how much? 30.
3 years at 24.
240.
Okay.
1 million.
Hold on, 240,000.
240,000.
240,000 statutory declaration. The Integrity Commission has only looked at under 2,500 of them.
Yeah, man. Good numbers, my brother.
Just under 2,500 statutory declarations they have looked at. The Integrity Commission gets $2 billion of our money. There's no efficiency. Efficiency cannot even go in the same sentence as the
sentence. True.
There's no efficiency.
But watch again to no Travis. Sorry for cut you. Sorry, don't move it.
No, man, reason, come true.
No, but don't move it. Don't move it. But watch you know. Him not come no man, I hear that, man. But watch you know, my G. You see, if you see the Auditor General, right? Because remember, the Auditor General are the one who bring up the whole thing about the tax office. No move yet, and them supposed to move to a different location, and them. Remember, the Auditor General fear job this, The Auditor General, them should have been audited a long time ago, and the Auditor General should have put out a report. And this was supposed to be the case. The Auditor General should have notified the public that, the $2 billion when they get from you, the taxpayers, they only reviewed this handful, 2,000 statutory declaration, and there are how many others that are there that have not been reviewed. However, right? They are running around doing other things when they should put more into reviewing statutory declarations. Just like how she point out, say, this not done in a quick enough a time, that not done in they would have been put under pressure a long time, say, we don't need to step up in the game. Watch out now. Them have all of these backlog in a Travis and panelists. But however, when Kevin Stevenson got a phone call or got a link, or somebody link him and say, Andrew will build a place and breach the town building act. What happened? The next day, he was down at the KCMC in less than a 24-hour period. The man was down at the Kingston in KCMC, and following that, reached at the site when claims that they breached there, and did an investigation and sent it to Parliament for something where him just get. However, there are, as Travis just pointed out to we say, over 200,000 documents, statutory declaration when they get reviewed.
submitted to them in 8 years, they have only looked at under 2,500.
That's how wide the corruption is in a traffic. That's how much, like you don't need glasses to see. So them deliberately attack Andrew Williams. Because how could you have such a large backlog? That come like traffic. You do something and police lock you up. See? Traffic, but come here, I'm put that in. Say somebody do something and police lock them up. And boom, boom, for them case call up and everything, and there are thousands of cases similar to your case. When I get called up yet. And you say, yo, all them man they come case come call up already.
Exactly.
Go ahead, my boss.
But it's a mirage actually. So there's no efficiency. And I just pointed out one key component that efficiency. I mean, it's a $2 billion entity. There's no transparency. None whatsoever. No transparency. Because watch this now. The way they ushered Prince Kamika out, questionable in every sense of the word. Craig Beresford, who was robbed, police report, he never went to talk to the police so that an investigation can ensue. Not only that, why is the Integrity Commission running $700,000+ in cash monthly now move these monies? What's going on here? Because we know why I don't use cash and move cash in hand, live cash, so that there's no paper trail, there's no record. Why is the Integrity Commission doing this? The integrity body is operating in the way money launderers that they're supposed to look out for operate. Explain to me how this works. Because this doesn't make no sense, you know. The watchdog, the entity that is supposed to make sure government officials and civil servants does not do these things, are the ones doing it. How this makes sense?
Good night.
Good night, brother. It makes absolutely no sense. See? And this, what's his name? Lawrence. This Lawrence guy. O'Neif Lawrence or whatever.
Yeah.
The way he's been ushered in is crazy. The integrity law needs to be reviewed because guess what? Them set it up so only past judges sits as commissioner head of it. That does not make sense, and here's why that don't make sense. Just like we see play out before our eyes in the oversight committee, wherein the head of the integrity commission, when the law was read to him, he said, my interpretation. And that's the problem there. Everybody will use the law to how they believe it. Everybody has their own personal way of using it. He said it to us all. I may be wrong when he knows saying wrong. He knows he's wrong. But I may be wrong, but this is how I interpret it. That is the problem with the Integrity Commission. Because it should not be ambiguous and it should not be subjected to the person who is in charge. If it is only to your understanding, that means Vegas. Me, I go do it how me understand. And when me move and you take the seat, you are going to do it how you understand. So at all times, the law will be left to the understanding of the individual.
I hear the problem. Hear the problem with that now, gentle people. When you go use the law based on him now, Panther was supposed to be a senior judge, a former senior judge, right? When you are going to use the law or you think it should and be used, then you go out there now and you put something out there, you put out information for a politician or anybody. And what happened? The damage is already done. That's the problem you're saying.
Well,
yeah.
Because when we are sitting here and in the parliament I say, if the IC go to a bank, ask you a bank statement, the bank must give it to them, The bank can't tell them no.
Alright, hold on, let me explain that. You asked that question already, I need to explain this to you. There's a thing called the corporate veil. The corporate veil is a privacy that is given unto companies. Let's say you put all of your Vegas put all in trust and everything into a holding company, which means Vegas don't own it, the company owns it. Whenever you search and look them up, you only go to the company name, you will not see the person behind it in it. Right? So what IT did was pierce the corporate veil when they jump into these business and let out the information and then tie it to the Prime Minister.
Sorry, Chavi,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Here's the corporate veil. Look it up, people. The corporate veil is a protection mechanism that people use. Mark Golding has it, his own name, Tajidi. We only know it because he said it. But if you go search it, you're not going to see him name tied to it. Yes, you can find the company's existence and where they operate from and all of that, but it does not show in the public record.
You may not even find, you're not going to find, one reason why you're not going to find him name to because what Mark Golding do, Mark Golding know the craft, So what he do is, in transfer the business to him children.
Mm-hmm.
You see me here, PNP, them, when they make argument, they ask about where Andrew and his picnic get money for buy land and him something there. Because the black man picnic no have nothing and the black man no have nothing. But when Mark Golding transferred the director's role to him children them, and him now is a beneficiary.
All right, hold on, them Vegas. In a transfer to pity them, he put it into GB. GB is an acronym for the compilation of intelligence.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
It's when you put in a Tajidi is a holding company that holds the assets. But he will put individual names as directors and
directors, yeah.
Right?
Right. So what means because you not gonna be able to locate it so easily when I say travel the point because he's not a director in the company.
Yeah.
So he literally is a beneficiary in the company. You understand me I say? So him say maybe when his children get older, he might go change his status. Where them have more ownership, whatever. Zin? But for now, him put himself as a beneficiary. So that means even though them a director, them can't kick him out of the company, Them can't remove him. But if you go after him now, he might just a beneficiary.
For easier terms, Mr. Vegas, the kids they don't have a controlling interest.
Right.
Like you would be a director in a company, or you have shares in a company, but you don't have preferential shares or a controlling interest. That's what it is.
Right.
Yes, they're on there, but they do not have control.
Watch hypocrisy now. Remember the virgin when they say own have shares in the company for the drill thing?
Right.
When name Donovan something, the one who has
William.
Remember William saying his the shares them he was holding the shares for somebody,
Client.
In client.
There's a term for that. I'm trying to remember the term for that. There's a term for that.
But what them saying, Chavi? Me think about it. Remember them saying, no, him own the shares. The same thing now when you look at Mark Golding, him picking them a whole, they sitting them for him, him just a beneficiary basically, but I'm picking them a whole it for him. But you can't tell him say, a him shares. So that's why I'm not declare it on his statutory declaration.
But Chavi and Vegas, say all this thing about the IC, long Mr. Warmington a try to tell them about it.
Facts. But we are preaching, listen, before you Warmington talk about this Jamaica, Jamaica Forum, Michelle at New University.
Yeah.
If I'm Michelle and Chavi, then we are listening to, and Lashika, then we don't listen to nobody, and some other scholars, because you go to JLP people, some bright people, like, we could have said we them and Chavi them in a government easily. The way them do them research and put all the information. Learn from PNP version. PNP, them are propagandist.
Alright, quickly, Mr. Vegas.
1 second.
Let me just close off the part. Let me just close off it. Donovan Williams is a trustee. He does not own the assets. He's entrusted with control of them by the actual owner. He's a trustee. There's also a thing called power of attorney, where he can make decisions on behalf of the actual owner.
That's what he said, Chavez.
Yeah. But notice how Mark Golding smart, because Mark Golding smarter than Daz, Them set up Dr. Daz to get in trouble, Then send him out as a scapegoat, We make up the night so them can't have something to run it. But here Mark Golding smart now. When Mark Golding talk about the Shears thing and Donovan Williams, he not call Donovan Williams name, you know. He say, yeah, and one of them have 80% shares, not the thing.
It's smart,
Yo, listen to me. You think Mark Golding a fool?
Yo,
What's it, bro? You think Mark Golding a fool? Your dance run out. Your dance run out. Yes, Donovan Williams is about 40%. He about 40% shares in the company and say, all right, last suit. Go listen to it. Go listen to it. I'm going to take a line here. Tell you Mark Golding. Yes, right. Yes, Rasta. Rasta is telling you. Yes, I. And one of them have 80%.
Give me a second. You're going to learn after this. JLP. You're learn after this. Baker Wagwan. Hey, listen to me now, man. You're telling Wagwan, man. They run upon some very intelligent brother and so intelligent and bright people for the Jamaica Labour Party. But they can't go around this time. So they surprise. They're surprise.
Let me cut you back. Let me tell you something.
Hold on there.
You have some
you
youth,
are
you see.
straight too far from the integrity.
Let me just say this. I'm going to jump off. I have an early morning driving to do. Let me tell you something, gentle people. And this is not no capping, bridging. And it's when people were there when we had chat when we go against. Remember, say me had done this one in a JLP company, you know. The people provide information now.
Yeah, done this one. They put it down.
Right? Alright, Steve, you're in the same boat. I want you to know, remember, say me well O'Keefe in that 2% thing getting know.
Yeah,
so alright, so do the maths. If me where they done this one in the group, make O'Keefe get 2%. You can imagine if they run up that winner, if they run up that Travis them, Lashika them, Money them. Listen me, Bridging. The thing where I beat them, Bridging, and I beat the Gleaner because we must win a digital era where everybody have a smartphone. So the Gleaner and all of these people were they designed to take down Andrew Wellness. You have the Travis them, the Winners them, the Chuck them, so many people to name. The sister them, Goody them, all of them, the Chin them, all of them. What's your name? My girl name from where live in Germany, man. Munchi. Yeah, Munchi, a gorilla, man. Where my girl name? Kizzy. Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, fam.
When man in major market company alive, and I beat the Prime Minister. You see Kizzy Dan hold him, he surrender.
Yeah, man, Kizzy will tear him up, man. Kizzy will tear him up.
Hey, the man,
so you will go on now. Then you go up now. You're wicked now. You're the wickedest part right now. You got have Jamaica 411 with anti-risers and Nats them with anti-risers and Karen Cross with anti-risers. So all of that wall that is there before them can get to Andrew Wallace, you know, that wall is there. Zane, where them have to tear down first, so them can't really get a little way in now and then, you know, because you know, so sometimes them get a little 28 bank account to run with and they get illicit enrichment and them run with it, but the pushback is so.
In reality, that argument does not move.
Yes, quitting.
Any sensible individual, any neutral, sensible individual who's honest with themselves, those arguments does not move for them.
But Travis, in truth though, if it were not for the people them, like me learn so much from Uno, right? And see them call Squitty Labour because Squitty, I said to them, say Squitty, one of the platform will say, where the evidence then? And I'm afraid when Squitty asks where the evidence, because if they come and present evidence and everything, you know, remember say Squitty couldn't go against that because Squitty neutral. So when them find other platforms where now asking no proof, right? So what happens now, we just quickly learn, what happens now, Andrew Wellness has managed to live out the storm, the hurricane, tornadoes, them when them threw at him, and still a lead at the polls, them, still popular among the people, them, because the wall of Travis, them, and Winners, them, and all them people were set up to defeat the Cautions, them, and the Hugh Richards, them, and the Idiot Ingram, them, and all of them will come and put the propaganda, and now them at a point now where them are offer the fish, in the $1 billion, them actually know, the desperation has reached so far, where them now reach to, them are going to give them call out him name to make sure him know, say, yo, you are part of the $1 billion, the fish are part of the $1 billion. Where the fish step on the platform and pose up, him a man and lick out tongue and all kind of sitting. That's at that level them reach now. And why do you think that happened? Because the people them when they put in place did to run with the narrative for the mark goal in get rid of Andrew Holness or for the PNP get rid of Andrew Holness. People like Travis them and them people at the wall where them can't go around. See? So big up on yourself.
Blessing.
Alright, Xavier,
They need a radio station. They need a radio station for themselves. For themselves. The keeper say it, you know. They need a radio station for themselves. Them too brilliant, man.
Because we don't want to focus too much talking about them, you know. We don't really want to focus.
Chavi, more you get back to it, I see you still in a Chavi.
Yeah, I'm a touch that. There's something that I must add to it.
Yeah,
and
come on,
it concerns the Auditor General. Now, the Auditor General and the Director of Public Prosecution Office are one of the one of only two governmental office or auditing agencies are they are not creatures of parliament like unto the Integrity Commission. They are actually enshrined into the Constitution. And the highest letter of the law in our country is the Constitution. They are in the Constitution. The Constitution tells us that the Auditor General must not have any other body over them. They answer to the Constitution, the letter of the law. They don't answer to anybody else. So watch, this is what they did now in order to be running this shenanigan. Put her as a commissioner and put with a Pantana Beswick as the head commissioner over her. And that is a breach on the Constitution, because the Constitution clearly states that she must not have anybody over her. Guys, don't take my word for it. Go look it up. It is in the Constitution. Her position on the Integrity Commission is unconstitutional. And you have the PNP run out every day and attack about they don't respect the Constitution when they are the biggest transgressors of this Constitution.
True, Chavi.
They are the biggest transgressor of the Constitution. So watch this now. Now that the truth is coming out and the committee has said, listen, the Auditor General has to be moved. They did a vote and it is the PNP acquired. Oh, they will mash up the ice. And I want you guys to take note that this is a serious issue, that the Governor General actually has to speak on the condition of the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission lacks transparency and efficiency. These are two key areas that their mandates require them to have: transparency and efficiency.
Chavi, when Aluma Samba say, every entity and of them must be PNP.
Well, now we're going to say, man, Chavi, when me I say Chavi, when me I listen to the Parliament oversight committee, the permanent judge asked them one more time. So when you say, when the IC want a bank statement, you have to go to the court, and the woman say, yes, you have to go to the court, but get it from the court, give them to Canada. So, he asked him around 2 times, so the woman said, if them not agree, you overstep them out there. You know what I'm saying?
Inspiration.
Mute the mic, man.
There's feedback coming from your inspiration.
See, Chavi, so when me a permanent job asked that, me I say, wait, something look right. Something look right because when the woman I say, no, if them do that, go to the bank and ask you a bank statement without the court, overtake them bonds. When they investigate and come back and parliament with that. So me I say, oh, something not right. Let me find something right.
All right. So like I stated, let me say this. The judiciary is an arm of government. See? High power. So, you know, you have some, like a station warrant and you have bench warrant, meaning it's a court ordered warrant. You see that?
Yeah.
You can't play with that.
Yeah.
You can't play that. A prison time to transgress that. When you have a small little station officer or somebody put out a warrant for you, that are nothing but it's a bench warrant where come from the crown or the judiciary or whatever they call it. That is serious. That is different. And that is the thing now, wherein the IC walk in and say, yo, me want that personal information. The bank will tell you, no, you can't get it because customer confidentiality supersedes your authority and you can't get this. But when he gets a court order,
That's different.
no, the entity has to comply because they're now dealing with an arm of government of the land, so they have to comply with that. Yeah, and that is the thing. They have been going around. Remember, I know the man said it into the oversight committee. Pantan said that they do not answer to Parliament. That is a lie from the pit of hell. You know why? The Integrity Commission is a creature of Parliament. A Parliament created since when? The creation greater than the creator. Since when? Since when? Like, and I see people sit down and listen to this and watch TV and watch the so-called social commentators and the political commentators speak over the issue as if it is nothing.
Let me explain what I go on in other something what Charles I try to put forward. Just read between the lines. What Charles did, Charles highlighted that they breached,
yes,
right? They contravened on the Prime Minister's constitutional right.
Yes.
Yeah. That is what it was. Yes. So that's what him put forward, but he couldn't cite this up. Because that was not the time and place for it. So watch out, look how them, remember we've been saying this for months in the chat. Right? Two things, Kevin Stevenson, right? When they have demonstrate about Chung, a foolishness compared to what Kevin Stevenson had done to the most powerful person in the country, Andrew Williams, right? No, look what he did. According to him, he wanted a scheduled expense, right, from Andrew Williams. If you wanted a scheduled expense from Andrew Williams, what he should have done, if Andrew Williams, according to the idiot, they might run on it like England and hear him say, oh, you never did provide that, blah, blah, blah. It's nonsense, right? He should have gone to the court. And that thing should have been.
Hold on, Mr. Vegas. Hold on. Steve, hold on. We must add something here. Hold on. We must find out something. Because Vegas make a valid point. That which he requests and cannot get, if he really wanted him to use a court order. But here what happened? Evan Stevenson isn't the one that's going to take it to the court. You know who's going to take it to the court to request this? Come on. Oh, no. No, sir. Mr. Vegas, back to you. In the Integrity Commission, who goes to court on the Integrity Commission's behalf? Who?
The chairman.
I think I'm chairman, you know.
No. Keisha Prince Jamaica.
Yes.
Oh, the corruption.
Yes.
That's why you come.
You're right.
That's why you're right. And hold on. And she has shown us. She has shown us. She does not take cases to court that she know in a hit. She showed us.
Watch again to Travis, you know, so you just sit in here on the head, watch her now. Remember, so they go to her the foolishness with the bank account, them, you know.
And she said she doesn't know.
And she said, yo, you can't prove that somebody never inadvertently done something. So watch her now. Them number that go back to her. Come say, you know, according to the Integrity Act, you know, if you suspect somebody have been involved in illicit enrichment, you know, you're supposed to send it back to the director of corruption, you know. Prosecution, you know. Then they do that, you know. They couldn't cut that road down the street of Parliament. Yeah. So watch the Travis just make, watch the point the Travis just make, the Travis add to the argument. Look how them breach the Prime Minister and rights now. That's why the review was important. Them, if they really want that from the Prime Minister, right, they would have gone to her, but through them knows that she not go take the foolishness and go make herself look stupid in the court. Then nobody go to her. Then they take no chance. Then nobody take no chance with she. Because Kevin Stevenson knows that when he asks Andrew Willis for foolishness, so no matter what I wrote there, no. What them do? They make sure so them publish it. So you see, once them publish it, them know say that muddy the water. And that them do to Andrew Willis, so them muddy the water for Andrew Willis. Watch again, hold on, don't cut it, hold on, don't move it. Watch again now. The FID, when they talk about, say they will do an FID to investigate whatever. That's a nonsense. Remember this again, people. Remember saying, them have the MOU can go to anybody they want to go to, See? Yeah. So they could have gone to the FID. They could have gone to the FID before they even go to the foreign forensic, But when they get foreign forensic. And claim said, no, they want Parliament to tell them to go to the FID. Why you want Travis to tell me to do something when me have the power can do it myself? I could have do it myself. Every angle you turn, and that the Governor General try to say, but because you can't do politically, you can't say it out loud.
No, but
Mr.
look here,
Vegas.
Champion and Vegas. You know, say Kevin Stevens if he got jail door.
That is for the court to decide. But here's what I'll say. The people of Jamaica must now see that the Integrity Commission is flawed. You know why? The chairperson of the Integrity Commission is a retired justice, a former president of the Jamaica Appellate Court. This man has sat on the highest bench. Not only sat, but have led the highest bench in the land. You see, all these little things that is going on with the people and the field workers, he sits as a supervisor. He knows the do's and the don't, what will work and what won't work.
He knows everything,
and they sat and watched all these shenanigans being played out and did nothing about it.
But Chavez, me not cut you.
Hold on. I say this.
Mm-hmm.
I said this some time ago and I'm going to repeat it again. You see, this new chairperson of the Integrity Commission is worse than her predecessor.
Chavez, I next thing again when we hear them ask in Parliament. The renewal of the lady contract. She entitled. They will say, way, they must have a reason why they renew her contract. So when Barton come back to Parliament, they don't want to know why the contract never renew. So want to hear what happened there, so. That's where I come from. Because she entitled to renew for 3 years. You understand where I come from?
So they are renewing Kevin, who is abject failure.
Yeah, but the lady now, what they must say in Parliament, why the lady, ask the question, the lady contract, why not renew? What the reason? They don't know what the reason they want to renew. You understand? But like the pace, I said they don't know what, neither. Nobody don't know what want to renew.
And that also brings a big, fat, broad highlight to the Governor General's assertion. There's transparency.
But may I tell you something again now, to people, and I said this a jump off.
And people need
watch this, I said this a jump off. The Integrity Commission has some serious questions to answer. You know, when everything will come to full light, when the case starts. No, when everything starts come forward, because Eva Guana, the Governor General, basically his voice carry weight. You see the lady, the investigator when they did on the case, we walk off of the job when him say she leave or she resign, she has a lot to say, gentle people. I think at some point she and Kamika are gonna come forward and this thing are gonna blow up. So but Eva go on. That's why Mark Golden and Mark so desperate now, because Eva go on. Mark Golden and know say after this election, it's gonna be hell and fire. Just believe me. It's gonna be a fiery furnace for them. Because a whole heap of thing behind us. Remember saying remember I know people must them try for Andrew Willis from 2023, when all writers it reports that Andrew Willis and the investigation, are going to be charged or some shit like that, And let me do a Christopher resign, Remember that, Remember the PSOJ, the call for Christopher resign. Them try for Andrew Willis already, Them claims
So what happened was Christie reposted a tweet, said that he will be charged. When he knew full well that he is holding the report that exonerates the Prime Minister, which clears his name. He's holding the report while reposting these things.
Yeah, when them send the report about charges to Parliament, right? And we'll back the next report.
And Chavi,
Yeah,
you know,
so when them do know.
You know, after
After it blow up and everybody start go wild, when the whole thing start get out and now, right? Almost a month after, them say, oh, boom, see the report here, and the people say, no man, you need to step down. So the hurricane will come after this whole thing, this election is done. Andrew is smart, Andrew is a milk every last drop out of this. Don't fire him a character, then I call it. Because I want him unravel.
Vegas, the next minute after two, them say a letter from the IC removed from the report of Parliament and it's supposed to move.
Yeah, them
That the forensic report and some other things.
Right, them say that's supposed to come to Parliament with the report. So all that will come back and back and go.
I understand the magnitude of what the weight when this carry when the Governor General have to really come tell them say then efficient. You know. We don't understand what I'm going to say. When the Governor General speak, we must say this unprecedented in the travel. This not happening, you know. This never happened yet, you know. The Governor General don't interfere with them. So for the Governor,
he's not into He does. He's not into the day-to-day running of the country. He has a ceremonial position. Means he's the highest office.
Let me ask you something, Travis.
Hold on the head, Earl. Hold on. One thing. Let me just add to Vegas' point. Mr. Vegas, remember, you know, it is in the Integrity Commission Act that he appoints and swears in these people. When they take the oath of office, they swear to his position. That's why they make recommendation to him to appoint these people, and you know.
That's why the man, you know, so the man say, yo, how comes a man there get that job there, and not just last week in take the vote. Oh wow, the man really say no.
His comments on the Integrity Commission are very serious and far-reaching. I look forward to see how civil society and the media treats it. Because I'll tell you this, they can bury a story as well as they can make a story out of nothing at all.
True.
Them already trying to bury it. Them already trying to bury it. They're already trying to do that.
But guess what? The General.
I hope them bring back the people in Parliament this week though. Continue review.
Thursday now.
Yeah. Listen. I was listening to one of the news reports, and it tell you in a very rare move, the Governor General comments on current affairs, public matters. This is an unprecedented move. And I'm glad he decided to speak, because guess what? The Integrity Commissioner out here acting rogue. And they told the Parliament that bring them into existence, so they no answer to nobody, only the court them answer to. I tell you, Richard, that is the biggest lie. If you don't answer to Parliament or anyone but the court, how is it that you can be summoned? Watch this. Who reviews it? Oversight Committee. What does oversight mean?
We must say Pantan, you know. Pantan is very anti-Andrew Willis, it seems, you know, because we must say the man all them church approach gets on.
What do you mean it seems?
Well, for the sake of you know, being libelous, but
clear as day.
Notice the man on the church preach, you know, when crime rate go down, the man preach. I said, no, what about crime rate go down? I mean, I said, how can about this? The man didn't realize it.
Vegas, you can't stop me wrong, you know, because when I watch it live, you know, Kevin sitting in the back, you know, when the woman start talking, I look for the body what night seat, you know. It's like, he find something wrong and he find him find out car. When Brennan Charles Jr. start asking questions 2 times, it come like, him turn idiot, you know, I mean, I say, how this man look so? One. You understand where I come from?
Well, now we're going to something for hold on to, I'm going to go on my bed. The Integrity Commission.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. The Integrity Commission. No, go ahead, Charlie. You can make a jump off. You might want to say something before I jump off.
Listen, I want you to attention to what these guys did. More specifically, Mr. Seymour Panton and also Greg Christie.
They run.
Push a come to shove, then grab them bag,
and run.
They don't know Chappie. They don't want to come in Chappie.
I try to save them name. I try to save them name.
No, seriously, guys, want to pay attention what the squad. And a suitcase, is a bag the man grab and throw across in back.
Run.
Hold on. Hear this. Weeks before his contract came to an end, the new chairperson, Mrs. Beswick, said she want Christie to stay. Before she made that comment, I tell everybody, see this lady here? See my spirit, trust my spirit. You know what my spirit tell me, say? She worse than Pantan.
When he put on my Twitter page, says Pantan 2.0,
Watch this now. She asked Greg Christie to stay, the most controversial figure in the Integrity Commission. One where the PSOJ and the public pressure to resign. You come in now, we're supposed to come with a new mandate and ask the gunman of the Integrity Commission to stay.
But Chappie, listen to this, Chappie.
And hold on. Watch his reaction now. No, ma'am. He gone bad. Maybe too much. Bag over back. Oh.
You run.
Because what is not trouble, them know something is trouble. Them know say, Them know so them breach the Prime Minister's rights, Them know, You think they don't know? I watch it now. Let me tell you something what I
The judicial.
Let me tell you something what deeper go on. The Integrity Commission. The commission have gone with some things, boy, in a Jamaica, Bridget. If you ever know, some things can't talk travel, but let me tell you something. You see, anybody who has something to do with do business in this country, they are a target. And just hear me saying, really big lie.
Hold on, Mr. Vegas, pause right there, sir. Go and draw your attention to something, because let me tell you something. I want dangerous listening, And when I listen, things float in front of my eyes. I see it clear as crystal. Let me just tell you that now. Another somebody defeat PNP anytime they them debate. Listen them. Watch this. Just the other day, Cliff Hughes had a sit down with good friend, DPP, Paula Lowry, the lovely lady. And when he asked her about the Attorney General sitting on the Integrity Commission, I want you to pay attention to the words that came out of her mouth. It is important that you understand what she said and why she said it. You know, Paula said, well, I'm going to retire now so I can talk. Who realized that the first thing she said before she talked the truth?
She said, I'm going to retire.
Listen, you know what I say in other words, because most people only hear me, I'm going to retire, so I'm going to talk. Let me tell you what she said in those small words.
She's not afraid of nobody. She's not nothing to lose.
Public office again, so they can't target me and beat me up because I'm going to retire now. So I'm going to chat the things there. That's what she's saying. That is what that comment means. She put it in front of her answer. You know what? Me retire then.
Tell me something, gentle people.
Me go talk with you.
People who are out here standing up for Andrew Holness, they are targets. You just know that. When you just know that a fight here is not just an Andrew Holness fight. It's a fight for survival.
And it goes to show.
It's a fight for democracy.
And Mr. Vegas, you're
it's a fight for democracy and a fight for rights. We do it right now. Some things that we can't say, brethren, because we just have to just watch it play out. Yeah? Because something can cause fights now.
I'll say this. There's many more who would want to speak the truth like Miss Lowry. But for fear of victimization.
Yeah, we know that. Vegas and Chavi, listen to this. You know, remember a girl was go down in a pharmacy down in Mandeville. When
That was designed. The chances said that a design, brother.
Why?
Brother, you don't need glasses. You don't need glasses. This is a provocation, brother. Brother, that's a straight provocation. Yeah, we are PNP that are going to people in place. That's trouble you're going to go look.
No,
Come on, brother. I'm going to PNP at that nigga, they're going to play. So, brother, I support Labour right. I mean, I win Labour right at going to place.
Well, listen to this, Vegas. Listen to this, Vegas. A lady call, sit the skank that name, you know.
Judge.
Hold on.
Call out skank that name.
Mr. Vegas, I took a call just now, and there's a point that you're making that I really didn't want to miss. We were on the point of the people who want to speak, and the fact that it's not just a fight with Andrew Holness, but people are scared to talk because of victimization and being targeted. That is no, listen, that's not a no light subject. That is no light subject.
Brother, I have a mouthful cancer, I have to just hold it. I tell you.
Vegas, you know what I think? You know what I think when we want Travis and Vegas? You see forensic people when they get a foreign to come hard it Andrew. Me want all that to come out.
Yo, come on, brother.
You want because you're going on. Remember saying Travis, you know, say normally the procurement process for this on the government website, you know, not that part. There's no information about the procurement process we're going with this, you know.
Mr. Vegas.
Right now, we're not even if I'm going to account that the foreign, if they bring no come to this.
Mr. Vegas, I want you to be reminded.
You know, you say something
that the governor.
Hold
on, Mr. Vegas. The Governor General come out and say there's no transparency. You don't want to look one like I said, you Blair them caliber person. These comments are no light comments. This is the transparency, man. This is tantamount to the King of England coming to say, yo, Integrity Commission,
Facts, bro.
Facts. Governor General have to consult to the King first, the people in England first before he can make certain comment, right?
Listen, I'm telling you that his position.
No, that's with the King, but with the people
position, his position is no. Brother, I don't know ordinary person. The man represents the monarch in Jamaica. Yeah? And these comments are no light comments.
Let me sum it up, Uncle. If it were Andrew Holness that said those words, who said those words, everybody, Jam, NIA, Mark Gold, and them, everybody that out there a bonfire for Andrew Holness say, he must say there is no transparency in the Integrity Commission. The fact that the Governor General said, them can't go back. I've been mongrel them done.
Mr. Vegas, they would have called it an attack. Don't pretty it up. You know your policy.
Yes.
They would have called it an attack.
The gleaner trying out. The gleaner in a rear.
Alright, so the snow fall on Jamaica there.
Yeah, man. Yes, the man, the man deal them with, listen, we don't understand what, you know, right now, over Integrity Commission, you have to say that people are left fast like lightning because nobody not going with Kevin them, you know. Remember that? I'm bewitched, I'm best witch, you know. Remember that, you know? Oh.
You know, say woman look on. We don't say woman look.
All right, Mr. Vegas, big up.
Listen, the comments by the Governor General that's not anything ordinary. It's not something ordinary that has happened. The Governor General state that there's no transparency or efficiency in the Integrity Commission.
Boy, nationwide can't miss me tomorrow, Chavi.
Early, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
I'm going to have a GG down there.
Chavi.
Yes, sir.
You give me something tonight. Canic. Some little fly up can't take me on tomorrow. Me and them.
We can't tell you this, Chavi. My mind free right now.
Why I like me?
Good night.
My mind free
tonight.
party.
But who you from Bracy? A long time Bracy in my box, Master. Bracy.
Yeah, well, you know what say, me is a man, me did come up. Well, me never really come up, you know, me did a listen and, you know, me not talk over people, especially people people are getting the right knowledge, when people are talk
Okay,
sense.
so you don't mind the man them go and talk.
Yeah, I don't mind, but it come to say one thing we did want to say, and a man said.
All right.
The part where this brother did a run around with the whole of cash where they get shot and robbed. We can't hear nothing about that all now. Them things they have come up now and we're going to hear about them.
Bracy, that move shoots to the heart of the credibility of the Integrity Commission.
Yes, man.
And I want you to take note what they tried to do. They tried to play it off like the police wasn't doing anything. And I respect the brother there, you know. What's his name? Mr. Bailey.
Yeah.
He came out and produced the receipts and stood up to the Integrity Commission. He stood up to them. Because the Integrity Commission operates in the form of an area done. It's as if they carry the money because when we talk, no dog bark.
Yeah.
And I love that he stood up to them.
Yes. Yeah. The police force change up on them, man. The police force reorganize on them.
Can I just say something with all that is going on? I want, first thing, most of us who are here to support the party leader and Jamaica and the wider whole, we need to remember. We must remember one thing. One, the Prime Minister cannot be sued in law. He's immune from prosecution. That's number one. Two, the Prime Minister cannot be compelled to go to any court to answer any question. Three.
No, but they want to get him out.
Let him finish. JLP, let him land.
Three, the Integrity Commission is answerable to the Parliament, which is the highest court of the land. Right? With all that they want to go about and say about the Prime Minister, not one of them can utter whether sotte voce, meaning Latin, directly or indirectly in public space, anything untoward to the theme, the Prime Minister. Because if they so do it, which they know they cannot do, the Prime Minister has a free will, the utmost free will with his majority in Parliament to remove the Integrity Commissioner and all the members of the Commission. That prerogative lies with the Prime Minister alone. The Governor General cannot save them because he is only there for ceremonial purposes. Right? So while the Integrity Commission will be talking about integrity and who can do what, let us see if they will go to King Street, right? And go and lodge a case to ask the Prime Minister to answer about any illicit enrichment. And let us see where the chip falls. So, as much as it was run by Panton or whoever it wanted to be the High Court, who sit on the bench and all these people who want to talk, you notice the Prime Minister just have them going round in circles. Because guess what? You cannot, under law, bring any Prime Minister.
Archie, hold on. Now that you're going to double down on that point, I'll have to.
Let him finish.
Right? If anybody goes and read the Constitution of Jamaica and realize the powers that the Prime Minister have, they would realize that the Integrity Commission, the virtue of how it is set up, answers to the Parliament. And whoever has the parliamentary majority has the say in things. Now, while they are doing what they want to do and feel that they are answerable to the courts, which court is it that they are answerable to? That is the question that they must first answer. And we must go and read the Integrity Commission Act to see which court they're answerable to. Because they can't bring any case for any sitting minister or Prime Minister. With all that they want, they can only furnish reports. What you must do, if you're so bad, go and get a search warrant. Which judge is going to sign that search warrant is the question. Okay? So, food for thought. They're going around in circles and rambling and marking G and the whole posse. The question that the public must ask, which judge in law in the jurisprudence of Jamaica has the authority to sign that search warrant.
All right. God's adopted. Are you going to respond?
Good night, everyone, both in the box as well as in the chat, and
Good night, man.
even those in the For You page, whether you're with us or against us, we still wish you good night. And Sparky Bob, I'm glad you raised that point, and I think it's such a pertinent point that you raised. However, with the direction that the so-called civil groups in Jamaica has been heading, I have observed carefully. In fact, this evening I was listening to, I never even finished it because I was so turned off that I stopped it, to a presentation by Dion Jackson Miller. And she was leaning against, mind you, it was not the Integrity Commission, it was the appointment of Dennis Chung. She was leaning against Dennis Chung, and as a trained attorney and a trained journalist, she should have known better that, one, the Prime Minister does not appoint anyone. Right? That's the first thing she knows. Any layperson who reads knows that the Prime Minister is not the one who does the appointment, neither the interviews. In addition to that, that Dennis Chung, being a trained auditor, plus he has a PhD, is not only qualified, but he went through due process, which was being interviewed by the Services Commission. So he went through the due process. He applied duly and was interviewed and came out victorious. The third thing is that the invitation to apply was there from last year, and it was not being taken up. So contrary to what the PNP wants the public to believe, that this was a fly-by-night
First question I'm
appointment.
going to ask you is this. First question I'm going to ask you is this. Who appoints the persons to the Integrity Commission?
I'm going to come
They are recommended by...
Hold on, Travi, I want to ask a question. Who does the appointment?
I'm going to come back to
the Governor General.
How does the Governor General appoint any person to any commission?
By way of recommendations.
By way of recommendation. Who does the recommendation come from?
PM and opposition leader.
It comes from the sole prerogative of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister does not have to consult with the opposition and anybody when it comes to the commissions. If we go back and look at our constitution, it lays down the powers of the Prime Minister. He can consult with them by virtue of reason. But he has no duty in law, right, to accept any recommendation from them to any commission. That is the prerogative of the Prime Minister. Only the Prime Minister, not the ministers, not the Member of Parliament. That is his prerogative. And what the Governor General stands for is to rubber stamp the directives of the Prime Minister. That is all. So regardless of whether civil society is upset with whether he's recommended or by the Governor General or he's appointed by the Governor General, there ain't nothing they can do. Civil society cannot do nothing. The only person who can make any amendments to remove anybody in any commission is that of the government. It is laid out clearly in our constitution, and nobody dares, regardless of their parliamentary majority, ever try to touch that part of the constitution.
Sparky, hold for a second. I must bring clarity to this. Now, in terms of the chairperson, right? Prime Minister recommend chairperson commissioner. The commissioners recommend directors and stuff and lower officers.
Exactly, and they are lower officers.
Yeah, we just want to make that clear. Sir Josh, come through.
Right. So I have to accept responsibility for what just happened. I was referring to a different matter, though I was going to pivot back to the Integrity Commission. I was referring to the appointment of Dennis Chung as head of FID.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so back to it so that the public will understand the discussion that we're having. Dion Jackson Miller tried to lead the public into believing that the appointment of Dennis Chung was unethical.
It's actually a break up.
Yeah, break
One
up,
that
Joshua.
was unethical. Oh. How do I sound now?
Go back to where you said clear.
Jan Jackson tried to mislead.
So I switched back to the Wi-Fi. I was actually on the data alone, but I switched back to Wi-Fi. Right. So she was.
Go back to Dion Jackson. Mislead.
Yes, that's where I'm heading. So she was trying to mislead the public into believing that the appointment of Dennis Chung was the Prime Minister's doing. Secondly, she also tried to give the impression that it was unethical and that this was done in order to support the Prime Minister. The third element is that it was done overnight. And fourthly, that he was unqualified for the role. Now let us examine all of them. The first part is that the Prime Minister appoints no one as head of government bodies, so to speak, especially the FID. The FID, the appointment is done by the Services Commission, which consists of a group of persons who you duly apply for the position, whatever the position is, whether it be FID or otherwise. And you are interviewed, your resume is looked at, you are duly interviewed, and selection is made right there. So it's not the Prime Minister who appoints the person.
You're interviewed by a panel and not just by a person.
Right, you're interviewed by a panel. The second thing is that Dennis Chung has worked across administrations, PNP and JLP alike in the past. He's not the friend of the Prime Minister. In fact, he would be more regarded as friend, closer to the opposition than even the Prime Minister, because he once worked at DB&G, and that in and of itself have left a red flag. A man with such a stellar accomplishment and reputation as Dennis Chung, why would Mark Golding and Peter Bunting be afraid for him, having worked with their company, not to head FID, considering his reputation, Dennis Chung's reputation? Is it that he knows something that Mark Golding and Peter Bunting is afraid might come to the public's attention? I just want us to think about that for a minute. Thirdly, this man has a PhD. I don't remember in what field, but he's an auditor by trade, forensic type auditor, right? He's not a forensic auditor. Notice I said forensic type, lest I be misquoted. He has a very keen eye for details, right? He has worked in the capacity plus in leadership role. He once headed NSWMA, right? So if we're going to argue that he's unqualified to head FID, then when he headed the NSWMA, he was not qualified either. And if that's the case, then PJ Patterson as a lawyer was also unqualified to lead Jamaica because he didn't study politics. And so we have to be careful how we go down the rabbit hole, lest it backfire against us, right? Most of our leaders have not studied politics. Andrew Holness is the only one that I know of that studied politics, right? None of the others. Yet they led Jamaica, right? Plus there were about 3 other persons or 4 other persons who were not trained in law enforcement, who headed the FID prior to now. So when the PNP is trying to mislead people into thinking, including Dion Jackson Miller, into thinking that he was unqualified by virtue of the fact that he never did law enforcement, you know, if you're going to be dealing with financial related matters and he's an auditor, then it therefore means that he would have been trained to deal with matters such as this. And considering that he's a man of integrity and is often called upon by journalists and other commentators to comment on such matters, I believe that he's well able, because you have to have a certain amount of body of knowledge before you're able to comment on matters such as these. Right? What they're afraid of is because he gave an objective assessment prior as a private citizen. He never took the Prime Minister's side. He wasn't against the Prime Minister's side. He never took the Integrity Commission side. He wasn't against them. He gave an objective assessment to say, hey, there's nothing untoward with having multiple bank accounts. What we should be concerned about is what is in the account. Nothing is wrong with that statement, right? But now the PNP realize that they cannot manipulate Dennis Chung. They don't want someone who they can't manipulate. Perhaps that's why Dayton Campbell had his friend sit on the Integrity Commission's board. So having skipped from the FID, I'm now over to the Integrity Commission. Right? I think Travi raised a point, if it wasn't Travi, that I never thought of before. The new head of the Integrity Commission. I never thought of it before, and so I'm glad it came to the fore that this lady, before the bench was even warm, that she was supposed to be sitting in, she was asking the previously tainted set that is there to stay on. Why would you ask them? You have the opportunity to have your own mandate, to put your own stamp on the thing, to say, hey, I'm coming new and different, right? And I want to be as objective as possible. Why would you want a set that there's a cloud hanging over, for that same cloud to be hung over you, unless you have a particular mission to accomplish, an unfinished mission that your enslaver, your backmaster has given you to carry out? And you say, boy, in order to concretize this, then I have to make sure that they pass the baton to me and I keep on running the same leg of the same race that they ran before. It is just something for us to ponder, and ponder very hard. Lastly but not least, I believe that we should vehemently, unrelentingly, forcefully ask for that $34 million forensic report that has vanished into thin air. They brought in a forensic auditor from overseas. This person, they believe, in their judgment, was fully qualified to audit the affairs of the PM. Having audited it apparently did not meet their expectations. And what was their expectation? Their expectation would be that the Prime Minister would be culpable of something untoward. That having not materialized.
1 minute? Can I just interject 1 minute?
Well,
while the whatever commission you want to call it, right? Whatever they want to do to get forensic report on whatever they want to do, the first thing that we must notice is what Dennis Strong said. Having multiple accounts is nothing wrong, because that's a law. It allows you to have multiple accounts. The second point I'm going to make to you right here is that they could do all their forensic reports that they want, right? They could spend the taxpayers' money how they want. But I come back to the point. Which judge are you going to ask in the court, the law of Jamaica, to compel a sitting Prime Minister to come and answer questions?
You know, Sparky, whilst that is a good question, let me tell you why I don't even want to go down that road.
Before I go, there's a point that all of us as Jamaicans are missing right now with this whole Integrity Commission report and what it is at stake. What is at stake right now and I've not heard many persons talk about it, but persons in the Caribbean are watching Jamaica. A lot of you may not have known Jamaica has found oil. Drilling is taking place for oil in Jamaica.
No, it has not been disclosed.
Hold on, let me finish my statement.
Sparky, hold up, Sparky.
No, Sparky, it's not found.
Sparky,
hold on. Let me finish my statement because I don't live there now.
Sparky, it's not
and
yet found.
I live in a oil country.
No, sir, no, Sparky. We have been following it closely.
Hold on, can I my statement?
Sparky,
not the Sparky, sir. We have been following it closely.
Can I finish my statement?
No,
let me finish my statement. Right? I know all of you are going to come after me.
Be allowed to do that.
No. You know what? Let him finish.
Okay? And let me explain to you what is going on. Okay? Now,
listen.
I'm finishing my statement, Travis. Right? I know. UOG, United Oil and Gas, has said that we're sitting on one of the largest reserves and we will go very fast now. And they're looking at investor.
Sir,
no.
You're misquoting.
Hold on, let me finish my statement.
You are misquoting the company.
You are misquoting them, sir. We have gone through the reports. We have read the
right.
report.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. In finding oil, once you find the sediments, it takes a while between drilling and whatever. So you can't make an official announcement until you have put up your first rig and it comes to shore. Now, what is at play right here now, which the country has not realized, right, is that in a few months from now, right, they will start to do their official drilling once they have found a suitable investor.
They will not be doing. They're not going to be doing any drilling in a few months. That's not what the company has said, but
right, because what has happened, they have revised their reports because of where it is located. It is not located onshore. It is quite a good distance out at sea, right? And that requires what they call deep well drilling, which is very expensive, and you have to have the big gunners who are going to come and do these things. Now, what is at play right now is the politics of, if I get out Andrew, right, and I come in, by the time they're ready to come and do the official drilling or whatever, I am in charge of the public purse and everything. And we're going to see what confusion is going to play in the country. So all this nonsensical talk about integrity commission and this one wanting to call election and whatever it is, they all know what cards are damn well playing inside of the country. And they're trying to fool you, the public, now, to not realizing that, guess what? Something bigger is at play. The entire Caribbean is watching little Jamaica now.
Sparky, I know your voice. Hold on, I know your voice, Sparky. I know your voice. I've shared a platform before. Yeah, I'll tell. I'm going to repeat a word that I believe you used before, and it caused a big uproar. Jackassness.
Exactly. So all the jackasses that they're playing now, right, is to get you, the population.
Sparky, it is not a monologue, it's a conversation. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Don't just go off. Hold on. I want to ask you a few questions based on your latest pronouncement. I want to ask you if piston samplings have been done, and do piston samplings come before or after drilling?
Piston sampling comes before drilling.
Has that been done?
Yes. Piston sampling has been done.
No, sir, it has not been done.
No, sir.
If you go back, they revise their report.
Sir, Sparky, take a minute, sir. Sir Sparky, take a minute.
Sparky.
We have been following this for months.
You have piston sampling and piston core sampling. Okay?
Sparky, let travel lad. We have been following this for months. In fact, we have had to go on lives and debunk lies, plain lies because of the same thing. I'm not saying you, I'm saying that people who wanted to spread rumor because they had a narrative to push, and we have had to go on lives and dealt with it. Winner, Travi, myself, and Chuck have had to.
The position that you have all taken.
Always like
Mr. Sparky, hold
on, guys. We have done
You're not trying for a reason. This is what you're doing. You hold on to your belief, and you push that. You want to push it past everybody. You even want to push it past even the facts.
Because guess what? When you are in the industry and you know what is taking place,
Look
do
at
not listen to others.
Can I speak, sir? Can I speak, sir? You're trying to push your belief even past facts. And because this is happening, I would hope that the minister, being Mr. Vaz, would have speak to the directors of that company, and because they're confusing the people. What they produce is a prospectus seeking investors in the move. As a matter of fact, Sparky, if you are versed on information concerning island drilling in and Jamaica, you'd have known that this is something coming as far as back as the 50s.
Over 80 odd years.
It's beyond. Sir, hold on a
The
second.
last report of oil price. Hold on, Travis.
Let him land.
Alright, guys.
This is my last point I'm going to make because I enjoyed listening to you guys. But I want you to, Travis.
Sparky.
This is my last point.
When you
I'm going
make your
to
point,
make.
you said make your point. That was the one before this. I asked people to let you finish. Now it's somebody's time for the floor, and you want to cut them off to make another point. Like this don't make no sense.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Because we're going done at 11 o'clock, you know.
It don't make no sense.
Hold on, Inspiration there for a while, and they must say nothing and burning. I mean, I want done before them say a word. So, look at all the point. They stick a pin right there, sir. Because we know them not find no island or children now go out. We know all of that. So, hold it there, sir. Inspiration. When they tell them sleep. Inspiration. All right. Browning. All right, gentlemen. No go on. Go on till I'm 11, because we're going done 11 o'clock.
I'm saying, United Oil and Gas has put out a prospectus. Even most recently, it's a prospectus that they're put out. You made a statement declaring that Jamaica is sitting on how much oil. No, they say they think that's what's there, and they need to the piston sampling and core sampling to make sure that it is actually there and it is up to commercial grade.
Right.
That is the statement.
That's the rest.
Including what the people them say.
Right. And in fact, they went overseas making pitches for possible investors. So the minister in charge came out and debunked the lie.
Yes, that's true.
They need to speak again. The minister needs to compel them to speak again, because this is a blatant confusion. There are people that believe with all of their hearts that yes, oil has been found.
Yeah, man, the minister had to come
Oil
out.
has been found. If oil has been found, please, Renford.
Redford.
Thank you. Now, if oil have been found, do you know the magnitude of change that would have meant for Jamaica? Explain to me how oil find, and they might keep it a secret, United Island Gas. People listen to us, think about this rationally. Bro, the billions of barrels of oil that they are hoping for, right? The abundance of riches that would have meant. You think them people are going to just hold it down and overlook investors? They would have gone and borrowed the money. Hold on, Sparky. Sparky, you need to listen. Sparky,
I am listening to you, and I'm going to make the final point. You do not look investors for something that is potential, because you know that it's there.
Until I'm finished.
Hold on, people.
Sparky, don't do that, Sparky. You're going too good, Sparky. You're going too good from now.
Anyway, good night, my fellow friends.
Sparky.
Good night.
Sparky.
I'm here, I'm listening, but I'm saying good night.
So in a year belief, you feel say them file island drill out there.
They have found the oil. But one of the but the problem that they are encountering is that the oil is no, they haven't started the drilling as yet.
But that you say now.
Yes, I said to you they have found it.
No, you say
right? No, the problem
You
that
said they are drilling, and I asked you,
right? They will commence drilling shortly. Because the oil that has been found
let me say something to you. Let me correct something that you said, Sparky. Because
oil on shore is different to oil offshore.
No,
onshore meaning land. Offshore means out at sea.
But whether land or sea, it's an island. It's an island.
Right? So when you have oil out at sea, it requires a different mechanism to go about extraction.
Sparky, just a minute, sir.
In the last time when they found the oil in the country, the then president of the Petrojam said that we have oil, but it's not in commercial quantity. And this is over some 15 years going on now. Right? When they found traces of oil in St. Elizabeth and also in Portland. And they said
traces don't make it oil, sir.
It's not in commercial quantity. Now, what has happened now was that when UOG came into the picture now, with the licensing now, and they went further out at sea, they realized there's a large quantity. But one of the main problems that they are encountering, you must have the investor to go and put up the rigs out there.
So, Sparky, here's what I'm going to request of you.
Okay.
Hold on, just a minute.
It may not be that they will start drilling anytime
Sparky, it's not a monologue. Lana,
yeah, but I'm
just beg a
explaining to
minute.
you. I'm explaining to you before I go.
Sir, when I was talking and you asked me to hold, even though I was not finished with my point, twice you asked me to. And I, out of courtesy, I did. You can honor other people by doing the same thing. Right? I am going to request of you, since you claim that we found oil, one of the things that almost everybody on this live knows that I do, I ask for a source document. So I'm going to ask you to produce the source document to back your argument.
All right, no problem. Message me privately and I'll send it.
Right?
No,
I don't want it privately.
We're 350 plus people are here.
I want it publicly. I don't want it privately.
No problem. I am a couple of hours ahead of you, so I'm 6 o'clock Jamaica time or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock Jamaica time.
8 o'clock Jamaica time, okay, no problem.
Come with the school thing tomorrow, because Trevor go there.
Okay.
And in addition to that, you said something that I want to correct, sir. You said people do not seek investors until they find, sir. Hold on. I studied business administration. And what you're saying doesn't accord with the teachings. I also studied marketing. And that doesn't accord with what we were taught. You seek investors before you need them. In other words, you make a pitch to your potential investors to say, hey, this is a possibility. And investors come on board early and you make a promise to them.
Tag me in, Joshua, tag me. Let me tag team this point here.
Go ahead, Travis.
In response to this part. Let me declare, I won't even ask any questions because we don't want a problem. Let me declare that United Island Gas in its totality is worth nearly 30 million pounds. Yeah, as a company. Yeah, a net worth of nearly 30 million pounds. Let me say this to you. If United Island Gas have found the abundance of oil that they stated that they have found, why would they need investors? As a matter of fact, they wouldn't have to spend their money because every single bank on the face of the world a line up to give them money is fake. Go drill, and so you can do your banking with them.
That is not how the oil industry works.
I'm not talking about the oil industry, I'm talking about economics 101, and that's the problem with you.
Right, it could be economics 101, 102.
No, sir.
That is not how the industry operates, sir. And I will say this to you.
How does it
I
work?
will leave you now, right? And even although I'm not within my country for a number of years now, right, and I've been following up on the daily news and everything that is happening globally and regionally, what I can say to you, let us see what will happen in another 4 to 5 years. And then,
4 to 5 years is not it. You have stated that oil has been...
I said, and when I say 4 to 5 years, I'm giving you that maximum timeline.
4 to 5 years is not
right.
You said that oil has been found and they're not telling you.
Right? And
what was
and
stated.
when
That's
it
a
does
blatant
happen,
lie. That's a blatant lie.
That
All right, guys.
I would have said.
We
That's
are
a
waiting
lie.
on the document for tomorrow, sir.
That's a lie.
Gentlemen, we're going to get the last word, I know, because tomorrow is another day. I have to go 5 o'clock a man.
All right, you heard you.
Yeah, let me get the last word. Where's the Sparky run? I'm not tell the last word.
No, he said he was leaving now, but
all right, give me
we're
the
waiting
last.
on the document tomorrow. We're waiting on the source document tomorrow.
Well, we're not thinking about show, you know, because there's no document. That's not going.
He ain't go.
Yes, Quitty, I show you that. Not there like that, so not saying I show.
No, sir.
When we can
that already, man.
What's Quitty? When we can say still, you know, and beg Jamaican people,
Yeah.
to straighten up themselves and make sure say voting day, when election, when they call, make sure it's at the bell. Now beg them, I tell them, make sure it's at the bell. Me always have to ask them that and I tell them that.
Because Jamaica will fight for the heart of Jamaica, you know.
Yeah, man. Make we just go straight with Anjo. No switching. Straight with Anjo. Third term. Thank you, Jamaica.
What is that? Trev, give me your last word.
My last word. So many things to say.
Make it short and spicy.
I'll say this to the Jamaican people. The choices before us. Two choice right in front of you. One that is complaining and says the skies is falling. They see everything wrong. They don't see any good whatsoever. And there's another choice that tells you of a plan for the future, is executing and building out a future. One, that there's a choice that is taking care of the young, taking care of the young and putting into place initiatives for even the unborn. Yeah? Even the unborn initiatives is being put in place for, and not just the young and the unborn, but the elderly is being taken care of in one of these choices. Ladies and gentlemen, the choice for the future, a stronger future, a better future, a future for Jamaica, lies with Andrew Holness and the Jamaican Labour Party. Choose wisely. Either you're going to choose the complainer or you're going to choose the builder.
All right.
Choose Jamaica.
Well said. Right. Joshie.
Thank you, sir. You know, I've been doing a little extra thinking this week. And Julian Robinson this week came out with a false declaration, as the PNP is known to do, claiming that a critical company in Jamaica is under receivership. This is not new because Bunting claimed...
I apologize.
After they decided to sue him. Right? Bunting came out a couple of weeks before that, saying that a contractor was not paid and so work on a school was ended. Dawes came out before that speaking about a drill that could have been purchased for $4 million without telling people that 136 pieces of parts came with the drill plus warranty, plus for replacement and repairs and all of those things. Right? None of those. And the reason I pointed out these things is a long list of not only transgressions on the part of the PNP, but false information, blatant false information. Marky G, in his declaration to the IC, identified that he has over 32 bank accounts this side of the world, plus other bank accounts. Yet in an interview with Andre Stevenson, he claimed that he only has 3 bank accounts as a business person, as a lawyer, as a politician, as a husband, all of these things. The reason I pointed out these things, can you trust a man who is not honest enough? And not only honest, but the team that he leads don't believe in honesty. When he was asked whether or not he was a citizen, he claimed that he was born in Jamaica. It has been discovered that he was never born in Jamaica. Plus his 4 parents owned 138 slaves. So, and could it be that's why he tried to derail the process of us going republic? Because it doesn't suit the plan that he has for Jamaica. And I want Jamaica to think carefully. We have listened to Marky G and his team walking around the country, telling nothing but lies on the country, on the Prime Minister, going overseas also to demonstrate against our own country, the same country that he says he wants to lead. But he has never put forward a cohesive plan for the development of Jamaica. Can you trust a man, the country, in the hands of someone like that? Or do we want to continue with the progress that we have seen so far? The turnaround where Jamaica is now the envy. Recently, just 2 weeks ago, the Guardian newspaper in the UK pointed to Jamaica's success in crime fighting. A month before that, the IMF pointed to Jamaica's economic success and is asking the rest of the world to look at us as a model for economic success. We're looking at the hospitals, the renovations, the building of new hospitals, the health centers, new buses coming, better training for the police, better salaries for public sector workers, increased pay for minimum wage workers, and we see the country go in a direction that we have never seen it gone into before. Do we want to risk an unknown coming in who all we knew about him is his legacy of FinSac and the destruction of 44,000 business because of the advice that he gave to the then finance minister?
Cut the chat, Josh, cut the chat.
Jamaica, the choice is yours. Decide that the only way forward is to vote JLP and to keep the progress going. We have seen it in management when COVID came, and we have seen it now manifesting itself. Choose Jamaica, choose the Jamaica Labour Party.
All right, sir. Well said, well said.
With thanks for having me. Good night, everyone.
Well, thanks for joining, everyone. I don't know a show about this, and we say we Jamaica, call Jamaica first.